Hello.
Hey, hi. How are you
Um,
doing? Sorry, I was
I
looking at this clip here, that one comment that we were reading before we went on. If we hit the
yes.
thumbs up button, more peeps will be notified. People, if you guys could do that, I would so appreciate that.
Yay. So like on YouTube and
I
Facebook.
guess, yeah, like on Facebook and
Yes.
YouTube. I
All
would greatly,
right.
because like Lisa and I always say, how are y'all doing? But this chat, obviously, Lisa and I love it, but
We
it's
love
about you
it.
guys too. And like I said in my post earlier today, it's a great way to encourage and support each other and just inspire each other, keep us going, especially
Keep us
during
all
these
going.
crazy holidays. I mean, what?
What are we here? It's holiday season?
Oh, I
Really?
know. It's
Oh, that
crazy.
sounds much better. Yeah.
So, yeah,
Oh
sorry
my
about that.
goodness.
I just noticed my mic was over there.
Do we do we ever have a perfect technical launch when we do these? Absolutely not. And I
Well,
love it.
no, because I
There's
don't
always
want
something.
people to I want them to always to expect greatness because they never know when they'll get it.
Oh my
you know?
gosh. Oh
Hey, I
my
want to
gosh.
thank Naveed because I'm noticing, I don't know if you all could see it or if you did see it before we came on live, but this nice graphic thing he has. Does everyone see
Behind.
that? I don't know. But this little coffee, the fall outside, the little blanket, the
It's
book is
warm.
open right by the window. I mean, come
I
on.
love
That
it.
is what fall reminds me of, or what I remember it being. Not that my real life is like that, but
Well, and he's
you
our
know.
producer. We've
Yeah.
worked with him now for 5 years, more maybe, since
Well,
you
I've
wrote
worked
your
with him
first book.
for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, since
More
we
more than
did your book,
after
A
that.
Little Me. Yeah, so
Yeah, he
he's
was
been
definitely a part
with
of
us.
that.
Yeah,
So
so it's
yeah.
amazing,
Crazy.
amazing.
So, hey everyone, you want to do it?
Yeah,
You usually do it.
okay.
Thank you
Well,
everyone for being on
yeah.
Facebook. Yeah, okay, go on. Listen, we'll explain to everyone why I feel so squirrely right now.
You are squirrely. We have lots of big news, lots. So
Well, I
just
don't
want
know
to
about
thank
that, but
everyone for being on our favorite podcast apps like Spotify, Pandora, Google, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio today. Thank you for all the questions and comments that you've sent in. Amy has written those down. So
oh
we're
yeah,
going to
I've written
address some
some
of
of them
those.
that I could get, yeah.
Yes. Yep. And then just special thanks again to Naveed, our producer. We couldn't do this without him. So thank you so much, Naveed.
And if there's any of my IG followers that have come on to Facebook and YouTube, thank you so much for that. We've explained it before, but technology wise and just the smoothness of the transition and things like that, it just makes this better with us on Facebook and YouTube and not trying to incorporate Instagram because that's on a different thing than what we're doing right here. So a
Yes.
platform, you know.
Yes,
So thank
yes.
you.
All
Thank
right.
you, everyone.
Thank you. So let's do some shout outs.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Can I show you guys something? Hang on.
Doing Chris.
Hi, Chris. Wave
Hi,
hi.
Chris.
Hi.
How's it
In the
going?
office.
I'm thinking, what? He's in the office when I'm doing this. Oh my god. Okay, you guys, I have to
That's
behave
awesome.
myself now.
I kicked Art out of the house. He's out on the deck. I won't even let him in the house. And you have Chris right next to you. That's awesome.
I will say he has a better cleaner side of the office than I do.
That's
Oh
okay. You're
dear.
busy, busy, busy,
Yeah.
busy. Well, I
Yeah.
wanted to give a shout out to Sue Stanley from Miami, Florida.
I want to give a shout out to Wanda Miller, Los Angeles, California,
Patty Lynn from Branson, Missouri.
and John Johnson from San Antonio, Texas.
Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Hey, have you ever been to Bronson, Missouri?
I have
Isn't
not.
that where all that music shows and all this, a lot of this,
Yes.
like Midwest entertainment? I would love to go one day.
Yeah, that
I
would be
think that would be
great.
a hoot.
We still have to plan a trip here. Here's Dorothy Sadler from New Jersey. Welcome, Dorothy.
I missed her name, but we've got Wolverines from Michigan. That means she's from, well, she's from Michigan, but I'm not, she may be part of Ann Arbor, U of M.
All right. And then we've got Jimmy from Chihuahua, Mexico. Aw-
Wow.
Awesome. I picked him because I'm in Mexico too right now.
I know. Isn't that crazy, you guys? She told me she got out of the pool before she came on the live, you know? It's like, what in the world?
Shh.
We have Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Maple
Ooh,
Grove, Minnesota, Pam.
right. Let's see.
Jackie from
Birmingham.
my, oh, going.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I have to say shout outs to Michigan. Jackie from
Yes, you
Michigan.
do. Here's from Central Indiana.
Huh. Wisconsin. Oh, Niles, Michigan. Here's go to Branson, Amy. You will love it. Kelly said that. Okay.
Okay. Kelly, our Kelly?
No, there's a Kelly
A
Carroll.
Kelly on here.
I'm assuming she's from
Awesome.
Branson, Missouri area or
This is
something.
an interesting city. I haven't heard of this one. Eureka, Oklahoma.
Hmm.
Interesting name.
Well, I have Brittany. Hello, ladies, once again from Central Michigan. That's where I graduated
Yay.
from. Brittany. Well, thank you
Awesome. Oh,
everyone for being here from all over. I love it.
here's Cave Junction, Oregon. Trudy
Oh yeah,
Ward. Cave Junction. That's a cool place.
I know. Where is
Down
that
by the
by?
coast. Isn't
Oh
that
yeah,
towards the coast, maybe?
Cape
Down
Junction.
south. I think it's
Hmm.
past Eugene. You could let us know.
Yeah, really, yeah. Oh, McMinnville,
Okay.
Oregon. On
Ooh,
Audrey.
welcome.
Yeah, Audrey
Oh,
McMinnville, Oregon. Then we have
that's a fun
Nashville.
place.
Then we have Brenda from Michigan, Delaware.
Toronto, Scappoose, Oregon. Oh, welcome from Scappoose. That's where what's his name lives? Bart Hafman from
Yeah,
Hip Machine.
yep. Gosh, I haven't heard
There,
them play in so long. But
I
everyone is
know.
playing farther out from where we live. I mean, even Chris and I have noticed that, things we used to do before COVID, maybe kind of during COVID and maybe 2021, maybe early 22, or I don't know, something. But it seems like the older you get, everyone flies the coop.
Flies the coop. Well,
I don't know.
it's fun stuff. You just want to keep going, right?
Yeah,
Oh, where's Jonesville, Michigan? That's interesting.
I do
Jonesville.
not know.
Okay, Joyce
That might
Ann
be a
Adams.
very small little town. I don't know. Like
Awesome.
Piconey, Michigan. I know where that is.
Mhm.
Boston, Boston, Massachusetts.
Houston, Grand Rapids. Very
Oh
cool.
yeah, Grand Rapids. It's a hot little city in Michigan
Oh,
now.
here's someone you'll like. Dan Bertoni.
Ooh,
Hey,
Dan.
Paisan. Welcome to the show today. We love
Yeah, thanks,
Dan.
Dan. Dan
Yes.
Pertoni has helped us out on our charity, right? Charity foundation, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
When Lisa and
Yep.
I, had the Amy Roloff Charity Foundation. Yeah, great person, great person. Thanks for being on, Dan.
Yeah. We appreciate it.
And if my friend Kay is on or Ellen, hey, hi. Oh, and our friend Deb. She said she was
Yep.
going to be on. So hi,
I don't see
Deb.
her here yet, but
I don't
hopefully
know,
she'll
but
be on.
hi.
My friend Alex, who's here, I'm saying hi to her, and grandkids in Las Vegas. So, Ava and Eliza, if you're watching, hello.
We've got Canton, Ohio, San Antonio, Texas,
Tim
Wisconsin.
Wheeler from California.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
Hillsboro. Who's from Hillsboro? Debbie Lynch from Hillsboro, Oregon.
Oh,
Do you know
wow.
Debbie Lynch? She's right out in your backyard.
Why is that name? Yes, that name sounds familiar, but I don't know.
Oh,
Oh, what am I doing? Oh, man,
all
you're way
right.
ahead of me. Boy, there's a lot of people here.
He's on the East Coast. Okay.
Montgomery
Well,
Village, Maryland. Listen, we could go on and on for this.
we
Duluth,
could. We could.
Minnesota. Awesome. Thank you
All
guys. The
right.
most important thing is you joining us. Now, if you guys have any questions or any stories or any thoughts to share, just type them in and we'll try and grab some
Yeah.
because we definitely want you to be a part of it. And I took some questions off of my Instagram and Facebook page that some of you guys had. So awesome. Oh, hello,
Awesome.
Becky from the UP, Michigan. UP
Yay.
stands for Upper Peninsula, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So,
Okay, well, we've
anyway.
got some kind of big news to talk about.
Well, I don't know if it's big news, but I'll tell
I
you
think
this.
it's huge.
Yeah, the this stage in my life, it definitely feels big, and it's definitely a change. Obviously, most of you guys know I've been doing this show since about 2004. And then when I met Chris, he joined me, for the last 7 years, doing
Wow,
it with us
7.
and us
Wow.
doing it together and, all that other stuff. So, it's been a long time doing this thing. Most likely, we just wrapped up season 25. That'll air probably sometime next year. I don't know what the network's doing or where they're going or any of that stuff. So, um, and then, but anyway, I don't know if the show is even going to come back after they air the 25th season. So, with that being the case, well, guess what? I got to go out and find a job. I haven't,
Amy has a job, a
I know.
job
Well, I had a
outside
job doing the
of
show.
right. I was just going to say
Yeah.
outside of Little People
Yeah.
Big World
Yeah.
because you have had a steady job for 25 years. And
Yeah.
we've kind of set the stage in the last 2 or 3 talks
Yeah.
that we've had that life changes, things change, and
Yeah.
you've got to keep reinventing yourself, right?
But you do have to keep reinventing yourself sometimes. But I must say, excuse me, at least for me, um, it gets harder the older you get. It's just like watching your grandkids. Yes, you can watch your grandkids in smaller doses than if, you know, depending, than watching them all the time because you're caring for them while your kids go off to work, because of childcare and all this other stuff. But it's tough the older you get. So I went back, I took a bunch of classes and stuff like that. I'm not a certified teacher, but I get to sub within the school, maybe substitute teaching and then sub for in the classes for some of the kids. And so yeah, that's what I am. I am whoops, look at that. I'm so fumbling.
You got a little
I
nervous when you said
I
that.
know. So I'm a teacher. And so I'm in the public school system. I remember, we all remember the days when we showed up at school and how it was. I do not remember it being as chaotic as I think it is now. So I'm not sure if it's because I'm older or I don't know what it is. But
Well, and I
um
think we might have a picture of your first day of
yeah.
school. Maybe Naveed
I
has
know
that.
my
We'll
I
see.
I asked my lovely husband to
Look
take that
at
picture. Yeah.
that. Look
Yeah.
at that. Your
I know.
first
Am
day,
I
that
all
was
ready to
Tuesday.
go?
That
Now
was
who
this
would
Tuesday.
not want to hire me, please?
You looked
Really?
amazing. You looked happy. You're dressed so professionally. And
I felt
oh
like
my
I was going
gosh,
back to my first day of school. It
that's
was
what
so
I thought
funny.
too.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
did look like.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
this picture though. Thank
Yeah.
Chris for taking that. I loved it. I
Well,
loved
you
it.
you know that little red thing? I should have had it turned around because it says Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. But that's the little
Oh,
thing
your
that I
tote
wish we
bag.
could bring back because you guys, I use this for Daisy. I have another one, I think. I use it for Daisy, so when I go on walks or on trips, I put her stuff in there. But this one I took for my lunch, Yeah, I
It's a
packed my
tote
lunch.
bag, like
Yeah.
an
But
insulated
it's
tote bag.
yeah, but it's insulated and stuff. So yeah, you guys, the big news is because it may not sound like big news, but I'll tell you, it is big news to me because
Huge.
even though I worked on the show, there's some flexibility to that. When you need to show up at a job, I mean, I have not worked an 8 to 5, 8 to 9, or whatever it is, job for 33 years, except for the short term that I was a teacher and I coached and worked for the soccer club. But again, that had some
Years and
flexibility to
years
it.
ago.
Oh, I know. But I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my, I had to get up at 5:30 this morning. I know, I know. I don't want to sound like a little whiny thing. It will just take time to get into that routine. But I'm used to setting my alarm at 7. And because Chris is right here, I can't say I actually got up at 7, which I didn't. I'd linger around in bed and everything. And then I'd probably get up like 7:30, quarter to 8, maybe 8 o'clock, because I either fell back to sleep or something. But the whole point being is I got to go to bed earlier. I,
Yes.
to get up
Yes.
at 5:30 and be ready and raring to go. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
But I will say the school environment has changed. I got to teach a kindergarten class at a local elementary. I got to teach a first grade class, which I absolutely loved because the teacher was out. The rest of the time, I was really much, pretty much a sub, taking care, not taking care of, but um, um, being with kids that needed a little more extra help, that may be a little more challenged, and stuff like that. But I will tell you this from my experience of just 3 days. um,
You look great, by the
lot
way, for 3 days of being with kids.
there's a lot going on in a classroom. I'm just telling you, there is a lot that a
Wow.
teacher needs to manage. And I think the biggest thing that tripped me up was the transitional time. How much
Oh,
time the transition periods, like putting your paperwork away, getting your jackets on, getting ready for recess, getting all lined up, that kind of transition.
interesting. Well,
Oh, I agree with Karen.
yeah, Karen,
Awesome.
good
I started
good,
subbing since
um,
I retired. So rewarding. Well, maybe not recess duty. Haha. Oh, Karen.
did
Oh, I
did you
totally
have to
get
do
you.
recess
I
duty?
had to do recess duty too. And it's like, man, these kids were all the way in the back corner of the whole playground and thing. And I'm like, well, shouldn't someone be out there or something? But then there's kids over here, and then there's kids over here. And oh my
Oh
Lord.
my god. Well,
Yeah.
give us a what did you like the first day after taking that picture, you
Yeah.
walked in, how did you feel and what was your kind of schedule
Yeah.
for the day? Tell
Okay.
us your
Well,
day.
the first day to me was the easiest because I was in a classroom and I was teaching kindergarten for the first half of the morning. The second part of that day, then I went into another classroom and taught first grade. I think the
Oh,
hardest thing about that is not being within the school system for a little bit is how much technology is being used, overheads, when they sing a song, on the sheet, on the information, like an informational sheet like this, you know, um, oh, sing this song. And I'm like, okay, where is the
what?
song? Like, what
What?
do I sing?
What do you mean sing this
And then
song?
and then before she left, she goes, "Well, it's just right there on the computer. You can just go right there and find it." And me and technology. I'm like, yeah, I wanted to say, well, can you exactly like point exactly where? And because you have this
Google.
whole screen filled with info. So right in the bottom it says, search. So I did that and the song came up. And then I think someone else came in who was helping another student, said, "Yeah, just hit this and it'll project it up to the screen." I'm like,
A
"Oh,
student?
okay."
A kindergarten
No,
student?
no, no, no,
Oh,
this
oh,
was
oh.
a excuse me. This was another, teacher that was helping another
Oh,
student
got it.
within the
Oh,
class.
got it. Okay.
But literally, I felt like a deer in headlights. But then there was a confidence within me too because it's like, I know what to do. I
Yes, you're
just
so
but
good with kids.
it's a matter of when you don't know all of the students and when you are attending to students that may need a little more help, not knowing how they're going to respond or react to you. Now, obviously, I'm not going to say everyone knows me because of the show, because that's not true. But there are a number of people that did know me, students and teachers. So I also have to overcome, because no one's going to directly say it to me, but they're
Yeah.
seeing me in this situation and they're wondering, like, wait a minute, you've been on this show for so long and you're here now. So what are you doing?
Yeah,
You're
yeah, that's what
subbing,
you said.
like you're subbing.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure they can really see me in that position. But like I
Yet,
mentioned to
yet.
you, Lisa, it's like that is something I cannot worry about overcoming.
No.
I'm here. I do know what I'm doing. Obviously, with more exposure and experience, hopefully
Yes.
staying in a couple of schools at a time, would be more helpful.
And
But
they'll
anyway,
get familiar with
yeah,
you and
I don't
okay,
want to go
so
on and on. But the one thing I'd love to ask people about, though, have any of you started like a second job or another job late in life? Now, Connie here says, how many kids do you have per class? Oh, I would say that the most I had was almost 30. It was like
Wow.
27. Yeah.
Wow, that's a
I was and
lot.
you know what? Man, I don't know why. Those, classes are jam-packed, and the way they have to have their desk, and I mean, they're jam-packed, and, I thought, "Wow," it's a
Wow.
lot, and they do need someone there who have a few students within a class, a few of them per class, that may need a little more help, and either someone there to help them do it right there, or they take them out into the little hallway, which they have desk and stuff like that, and help them there so the rest of the class can, hear the lesson and be able to do their stuff.
That's
So, yeah.
amazing. So this recess, okay, so like you get the kids, you walk in, do you introduce, "Hi, I'm teacher Amy"? I mean, kind of give us
When
that picture because
Yeah,
we don't have a camera in here like
yeah,
reality TV now where
yeah,
we're watching it. We have to have you
yeah.
describe it for us.
Well, the only time I did that was when, I was teaching kindergarten and teaching 1st grade. Said, of course, my married name is Roloff Merrick. Well, that's way too much for a kid to say. Mrs. Roloff Merrick, way too long.
Yeah.
So I either just said Mrs. Roloff or I just said you can call me Mrs. R,
Oh,
type of thing.
okay.
And
Okay.
so, because half those kids know me. A number of kids came up to me and saw me at the farm because of pumpkin
Oh,
season.
right.
So,
Right.
there's a lot of dynamics I feel like I'm
That's
working with in here.
well, you're familiar to them. I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of a cool thing, right? They
It
probably
can be,
warmed up
yeah.
to you pretty quick
Yeah.
that they say, "Oh, I know her."
Yeah.
So, do any of the teachers go by their first name at this point, or no, it's still
No,
Miss or
no, a
Mrs.?
lot, well, they may have before, but they've definitely come back to it's Mrs. whatever, you know?
Okay.
See, like, when I was
Okay.
teaching, we always said, uh, I said, "Call me Teacher Amy," meaning I'm a teacher, my name is Amy.
That was
Or
preschool.
preschool and kindergarten, and I did teach 1st grade here and there.
Okay.
But
Okay.
mainly preschool and, kindergarten, but they do go by Mrs., you know, they go
They
by
don't
Mrs.
just say
whatever.
Amy. It's
No,
or
no, no,
teacher
no.
Amy. Got
There's
it. Got
always
it.
something in front of it, either a Mrs. or a
I didn't
Miss.
know these days. We
Yeah,
we
yeah.
don't know it that much these days. I'm 62 now, so it's like that's a long way back to even remember.
Well, even when our kids went to school, I mean, it's it's
Yeah.
it opened up my eyes, but you know what? I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. I look at each of these kids and you just so want to, like, help them, and to help them, be the best that they can be and, try and help them to be independent on how they can get themselves out of their moment,
Right.
you
Right.
know, uh, whatever it may be. And and
So do you
so
teach? Are you thinking of teaching every day? Did you have a teacher's aide in the room with you? Were you or by
You mean
yourself?
the first day? Because the
Yeah,
rest of
first day.
the rest of the day, I'm a sub for the teacher, meaning the teacher's still in the classroom, but I'm the one that's helping out certain individuals that may, need
Oh.
extra attention.
Oh,
It was the first day that I would taught, kindergarten and 1st grade.
I
Tell you the
see.
truth, that's
Okay.
the day I loved because
Okay.
I was in the same place. I knew where I was gonna be. Now what I do now, I may be in one class for a little bit, then I'm in another class for a little bit, then I might be somewhere else, and then back to the first class. So it's a lot of
Okay.
and that
And
can,
that's where you're talking about all this
oh,
chaos
yeah,
because you go
yeah.
in, you're starting over, doing
Well,
so
it's like being just
interesting.
plopped in for a minute and then taken out, then plopped in
Yeah.
someone else and then taken somewhere else and then taken out, then plopped
Oh,
in someone
interesting.
else and taken out. And the thing that's most important, I think after today, um I'll try and, email the 2 schools. I've only been at 2 schools that I've been to that, I'll be available a lot more times if you guys need me, and,
Yeah.
I can be more consistent, meaning put me on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you
Yeah.
know, and stuff like
That's
that,
very
so
cool.
we'll
I
see
was
how
so
it is.
excited. I was so excited for you to share your story this week because people want to know how you're doing and what's
Yeah,
going on. And this is kind of, again, community. These are our
yeah.
friends and we're sharing. I forgot to mention that we want you to stay on to the end because we are going to have a giveaway. I forgot to talk about that. So just real quick,
Oh,
just
yeah.
wanted to let you guys know, and you might have some there in front of you, that
Oh, I
we're going to
do.
do a fudge giveaway because our
But
holiday
Naveed can
fudge,
probably I don't want it to slide
yum.
off.
Oh my gosh, that
Hi.
peppermint one. So we are doing a giveaway for
Ooh.
two lucky winners, a YouTube and a Facebook,
Oh, there we go.
a winter fudge. There it is. And we're going to have a code word at the end of our show that you can type in and we'll pick two lucky winners. So I'm sorry we didn't jump into that before we got into our deep conversation, but I just wanted to mention that. And it's peppermint candy cane, peanut butter,
Peanut butter
chocolate,
chocolate,
classic
yeah.
peanut butter chocolate, chocolate cherry cordial, which is Chris's favorite, and yeah, so and classic chocolate. So
Well, the chocolate
yummy.
cherry cordial goes by fast in my house because I may have one little slice and then Chris eats it all for, you know,
Yummy
all the whole time.
the whole time. And if you don't want to wait for the contest to see if you win, you can just scan the QR code and you can purchase it right now. So there it is.
See, I want to answer this one question. I want heart to
Yeah.
touch. Having dwarfism does not equal special needs. I would probably have to disagree with that because in our own individual selves, we may not think of ourselves as special needs, but I think within the school system, you are considered special needs because most of the time, from my understanding, you have to go onto an individual education plan because you may any accommodations, anything that you may need to help a student be their best and exceed any assistance that they may need is considered special needs. Now, special needs do not always indicate intellectual. It can be anything physical. And in fact, one of the I think it was the first grade class that I taught. There was a little person, a girl. Oh, she's so cute. She's adorable. She's funny, and all that other stuff. So I love teaching there. But there was a little person in the classroom, and but because they have to go on the IEP, then they're, locked into that thing. But I don't know, it's not IEP doesn't mean your special needs, but
It's for accommodation. So that could
yeah,
just be
yeah,
physical
it can be
accommodation.
anything,
It can be
anything.
anything. Taking a little
Yeah,
more time to read the book,
yeah.
taking a little more time to process your math, different things that they go through. So, yeah, I
And I love what
understand that.
Kate said.
Kids
Special needs isn't a bad thing, and you're
no,
so right.
no.
It's not a bad thing. It's just helping kids to recognize where in those areas do you think you need more time in, more help, and not to be afraid to ask for it, not to be afraid to accept help,
Well,
and because it's good for you so that you can exceed.
yes, yeah. Well, and I think too, like when you and I went to school, they pretty much just everybody had to be exactly the same. You had to sit at the desk, you had to listen, you had to do
Mhm,
this, you had to do that. And they've found out, at least in the last 10 years, that not every child learns the same way. We were so institutionalized before,
mhm.
and now they have these plans for kids, independent education plan, so that there are things that can help them learn in a different way and still test the same or do different things. I mean, again, I think we've come a long way with education and having different ways of learning instead of, maybe 50% or 60% of the kids that learn one way would always pass, but then the others would fail. And now they're finding different ways so these kids can learn or their style of learning, and then everybody can pass, right? I mean, that's kind of the gist of this for these
Um,
different plans.
a couple of comments here that I wanted to say. I don't know who Stanley is, but I'm sorry to say, but I am still cooking even though I'm going back to work. So don't be too excited that you think I'm not cooking anymore.
There, Amy's not cooking anymore.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
Stanley,
yeah.
that's a
I know.
nice. Oh,
Yeah,
I think that might be that name. I'm just
yeah.
saying,
And
might
then
not
there's,
could be
um
a plant.
and then there's, Renee, which I love. She goes, oh, what did she say? Not everyone, not everyone pops at this not every popcorn kernel pops at the same time.
Oh,
I
I
think that's
love.
what she thought, so I thought that
Oh
was
my
cute,
gosh. I
I
think
thought that was cute.
for you teaching, that is an awesome
Yeah,
thing to say.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love that.
yeah,
Here,
but
yes,
it
or
was
not everyone
Renee.
can do it, Renee. And this
Yeah,
one's too.
Renee.
Tammy's saying, not everyone can do everything at the same pace. All right.
But I tell you, that is a lot for a school to take on, and I think we are recognizing that because our society has changed, what we do as a country, manufacturing our businesses and, stuff like that, we're understanding that people are individually, and you're right, not everyone learns at the same time, but how
No.
do you, you know, oh geez, you don't want to separate them, but to have them all together too, it's just 3 days that I'm there, and I'm like, this is tough because you've got adults coming in, taking students out, bringing them back in. What does that do for the rest of the class that is still trying to take focus, but you have all these things happening within the classroom?
Yeah.
Um, it's tough. I think it's tough,
Well, this is
you know?
interesting.
Yeah,
IEPs are super helpful for educational staff, education staff tool. It helps parents and staff
yeah.
connect to help meet each child exactly where they're at. See, so that I think that's
No,
a
yeah,
great.
no. Yeah, no, I think IEPs are very
That
good.
doesn't that doesn't mean special needs.
It's true. Not
Yeah,
everyone is special needs.
yeah, yeah.
But then we have to define what do we think is special needs. So it's I think anyone on the IEP program needs a little extra of something, or having other people be aware of certain needs that they may need to have other people
Exactly.
be aware of and take into consideration,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So,
I get
but
it.
no, I'm glad I went. I'm glad I went back. I go tomorrow, and we'll see what
Oh,
other, sub jobs that I can get within the school district that I'm a part of, you know.
well, this
But
is
I'd really
nice.
like to know about some people that have gone and did a second job or maybe stayed at home for a long, long, long time and now getting back into the workforce, because I tell you, it's different. Yeah. Oh,
Well, it's
thank you,
different.
Connie. Who was that? I couldn't
Yeah,
remember who
Connie
that
was
was.
saying thank you for the kids are lucky to have you.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
that's
appreciate that.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think this is great. Great talk. And we'll definitely continue this, down the road to hear your success, your challenges as being a teacher. I mean, I think those are going to be some fun conversations to have down the road too, because you've only been doing this 3 days.
Oh, I
So,
know. I
uh,
know. Well, here's
yeah,
Renee.
your
Renee
experience.
said, IEPs and 504 programs follow all the way through college. I thought it was all just through high school, but
Maybe through college.
but it also depends on whatever your IEP is, because sometimes I would think if you don't need that anymore because you've grown up, like you're not in first grade, second grade, but you're in 10th or 11th, depending on what that IEP
But
is.
again, that's the whole point of this is that every child is different, right? So
No,
some
but what
could
I'm
grow
saying
out of
is,
it, some might need to have it the whole
well,
time.
that's what I'm saying. But her statement, I was like, what it's with you for life, whether you want it or not. And sometimes that
Yeah.
can be a stigma on people who don't feel like they need it. But
Yeah.
it's a good thing that it's there throughout your whole educational period, to do what you need to do.
Yeah. I like this comment from Tammy. I think you will do fine, Amy. You're really good with kids. I remember watching the show when you coached soccer and
Oh
taught
yeah.
preschool. That's
Oh,
awesome,
thanks,
Tammy.
Tammy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love doing that. I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. I love
Yeah.
it. All right. Well, I think we should go on to our next topic that we never seem to get to.
I know.
Um,
But,
People
sorry,
want to
sorry,
know.
Lisa, one other thing, but any teachers or anyone out there, any info or input, whether to give to parents or even myself and teaching and being in the classroom, I mean, throw them out here. We'll try and get
Yes,
some.
I'll keep an eye on them while you're. So, so this kind of segues us right in. Are you and Chris hosting Thanksgiving this year? What's up
Oh,
with Thanksgiving?
as at this very moment, unless something happens, but yes, I'm so, so excited. Chris and I are hosting Thanksgiving, and when you are an empty nester, it's like, well, where do you go? Because all your other kids may have other family members that they gotta go do something with, and sometimes you can be just Chris and I, or maybe part of the family, and then I feel like it's like fractured because where's the rest of my family? All this other stuff that you got to deal with over the holiday. We'll probably talk more about that on our next live. But this Thanksgiving, I'm having all of my kids, all of my grandkids there. So I am so, so excited. So the one thing that I told them right when everyone gets here, everyone doesn't go off and do their thing. The kids don't run up to the grandma room and, do all chaotic things upstairs and stuff like that. We're going to get a picture of all the cousins. And it's going to be one, two, three,
Oh,
line them up on the couch, smile. And then I'm going to get in there being the grandmother. Okay, smile with grandma or Mimi. They're all going to smile. And I'm just like, okay, they can go off and do whatever they want now.
I love that. Right? That just keeps that moment that,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a precious moment. So tell us who all's coming. Who
Well,
all is coming to your Thanksgiving?
it's not only a precious moment, but you don't know when all of us will be together like this. Because, like I said, Jeremy may have to go to Audrey's parents, the next year, or Tori and Zach, and then um, Molly and Joel going to their, parents or whatever. So it's going to be Molly and Joel, Jacob, Isabel, and Mateo. Um, of course, Jeremy and Audrey, their three kids, and then Zach and Tori and their three kids. So,
I didn't realize Molly was coming too.
yeah,
Oh,
Molly and
so
Joel.
everybody,
Yeah, everybody.
everybody. Oh my gosh, that just gave
Yeah.
me chills. I was thinking they were staying in Spokane because
No.
Spokane, but oh my
Well, I think
gosh.
they may go to Christmas in Boise area for his folks and family. So,
Okay, here's the next question from Linda. What is your menu for Thanksgiving?
okay, yeah, hang on here.
Everyone wants to know if Matt's coming for dinner. I no.
No, no, he and Karen won't be there because I'm not sure what they're doing, or they might be in Arizona. So, um, man, I'd really like to speak a lot more on this school thing. Yeah, you're right, Lisa. We
Well, we
may have
can
to do
circle
that.
back.
So, what's
Yeah,
on my
we'll circle back.
menu? My menu is I'm not doing any appetizers. If anyone wants to bring an appetizer, they can do that. But we're gonna have
Oh,
turkey, mashed potatoes, and gravy. We're gonna have green beans because that is really Chris's one and only favorite vegetable. Um, okay, Amy, turkey. I'll make stuffing outside of the bird. I'm gonna do like this apple cabbage kind of mix of a green salad. It's not really gonna have lettuce in it, but apples, cabbage, walnuts, dried cranberries. I might throw in some shaved Brussels sprouts. I don't know what kind
mm.
of cheese I'm gonna do with it, but I'll probably do like a lemony vinaigrette for it. I'm gonna try and do my own rolls. It's been a
Oh, you're
very
gonna
long
bake
time.
rolls?
And then I'm gonna do my pecan tarts, which go to Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. You will find the recipe for that. I like the pecan tarts more than a pecan pie because the pecan tarts are a much smaller slice than that rich, sweet pecan pie slice. But anyway, but I love it. I
Mm,
love, oh, when I made these, I'm like, gosh, why didn't I make these before? I love pecan. And then, of
I
course,
love it.
traditional pumpkin pie. So I think
Yes.
I have one of my daughter-in-laws, Audrey, bring an apple pie, and I'm sure the other people will do something else. So did I
And
miss anything?
when you mention getting the recipes on Amy Roloff's Little
Mhm.
Kitchen, We also have a cookbook that will have all those recipes in there as well. Well,
Oh, yeah, you
some
can
of the
get the
ones you mentioned.
cookbook right now.
Yes.
Oh,
Do you
well, it
have the
won't be there
cookbook?
in time for, Thanksgiving, but you know what? Christmas and Thanksgiving are go hand in hand, in my opinion. Yes, there
Yes.
it is.
So that
Yes,
cookbook is now available on Amazon
yes,
with hardcover and paperback. So
yes.
go to the
And
QR code there, or
I think my ginger molasses cookies are in there, which I
cookies.
absolutely love. Yeah,
Yum. And just so you
yeah.
know, the audience, you people here, community, helped choose that cover. So thank you so much for being a
Yes,
part of
yes.
the book. This is great for gifts too, Christmas coming, um, and birthdays, really fun. So, anyway,
Yeah.
recipes will be in there. And this is a good question from
We
Wesley.
if Lisa and I feel like we want to be good Santas or whatever, we might give 2 of them away in December. So,
Yes. Okay. That's a great idea.
yeah, give 2 of them
What do
away.
you add anything extra into your mashed potatoes? That's a good question.
Oh, yeah. You know, I kinda do, and the thing is there's no need to really add anything extra in mashed potatoes. For some reason, I feel like I need to, and so, um, butter, of course, salt and pepper, but sometimes I'll add garlic. Sometimes I might
Yes.
add, chives, finely minced up chives. If you wanna be really fancy, kinda some truffle butter or, something like that. Um
Oh, that sounds
Truffle
delicious.
oil. But you also want it to complement the turkey and your other dishes and the gravy that you're gonna put with it, which I assume will be kinda like the turkey gravy.
Mhm. I've
No,
seen some
Patricia,
people.
unfortunately, the cookbook is only, on Amazon right now. So,
Yes, yes. I've seen some people put cream cheese, a little bit of cream cheese
yes,
in there. Oh,
yes.
look at that right here. Becky was reading my mind. I
Well,
add
there's
cream
sour
cheese
cream
and sour
too.
cream.
Yep, yep.
Mhm.
Now
And
sour
if
cream will add a little, like a little tang to it. I mean, you can even add goat cheese if you wanted to. You got to really make sure your potatoes are, warm enough to kind of help melt that kind of cheese and cream cheese. But cream cheese will definitely give some of that richness to the mashed potatoes as well.
Yeah. And someone asked about sweet potatoes. We have a family tradition to have
Hmm.
sweet potatoes for Thanksgiving and Christmas, but they're not the candied yams with marshmallow and things like that. Some people, that's their tradition. Ours are just roasted sweet potatoes, the light colored ones, and then make a tiny, like a maple syrup butter kind of to drizzle over the top. And that's our family go to for sweet potatoes. Do you have one?
Oh, well, tell you the truth, I was never a fan of sweet potatoes really,
Oh,
and
oh,
growing up or anything. But then, and I never did them for my kids because when you're just yourselves, all this food is way too much when your kids are young. So I just did mashed potatoes. But Molly, when she got older, she would always make sweet potatoes with the marshmallow and stuff like
oh,
that. But that what you just described
yeah.
simplifies that whole
So good.
thing,
So
and
good.
I could maybe do that. Now that's the other thing: sweet potatoes or yams. I've read up on this before. I thought I could just spew out my little knowledge here, but of course I can't. And
The
so
yams are the orange,
yeah.
and we don't use those. We use the sweet potatoes, which are the
Okay.
light yellow, kind of golden.
Well,
So
hopefully the
that's the
grocery stores
difference.
will have that right.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And the yams, I think the candied yams are the ones more with the marshmallow and the
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. And then we do, ooh, this sounds good. Here, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
brown
put
sugar
this
and
one.
pecans. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
Yep.
goodness. Let's see
That is
that
really
one.
good.
Ooh,
But, another
orange
one,
walnuts.
it's a sliced
Mm,
sweet potatoes with cranberries, orange, walnuts, pecan, cinnamon, nutmeg, and a dash of ginger. Okay. That sounds good as well.
yummy. Mm,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
so you don't
sounds good
have to
as
do
well.
the, yeah,
The whole yeah, ugh.
I like
And
that.
maybe that's why I didn't like it because with the marshmallows and everything, it was just like,
Too sweet for
yeah,
me.
it was too sweet for me. I love sweets. Oh, please, people, if you could see me, I love sweets way too much. But sometimes if it's too
Oh,
sweet, I like, ooh, yuck,
yeah.
you know?
Oh, Tony's making deviled eggs. What about you?
Oh, yeah.
Do you do deviled eggs for
No, you
Thanksgiving?
know, tell you the truth, I usually save that for the spring, our Easter dinner meal, you know? But, I'll do, deviled eggs, throughout the year for other, like, appetizer party, type of stuff, but I don't think I've ever had them for Thanksgiving, and I really like Thanksgiving because yes, the food is what brings us together, but it's reconnecting with your family and just sharing stories, especially with those who you haven't seen in a long time. And I've even heard that those family members, if you're on a different time zone, you either do it just before you eat dinner or just after you eat dinner, but you FaceTime them. And so, you have all the families and they can take turns, talking to that family member that's out of town, or something like that. So I've heard
Yeah.
people do that. So,
This one, I add orange juice and orange zest to my mashed sweet potatoes
okay.
to cut the sweetness. I also add cinnamon, salt, pepper, dash of heavy cream and butter, mix it all
Yep.
together. Ooh,
Yeah, no, no, that
ooh.
sounds really good too. Yeah,
Look, we're getting some new recipes. You're gonna have to
we
try
sure are.
this.
I
Me
tell you
too.
the
I'm
truth,
gonna
I may
try.
have to. I may
I
just
know,
have
it
a
just sounds
yeah.
delish.
Well, I might have, Molly help me out with that, not make it, her traditional way, but do it, some of these other ways, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Well,
But
and interesting for so in your family, you don't have anyone gluten-free or
nope.
intolerant, lactose. You have the
Well,
traditional.
Mateo may have a little bit of a thing. So he'll definitely have the turkey. He'll have the mashed potatoes. He can have green beans or, whatever a 2-year-old wants or almost 2-year
Uh-huh.
old. But beyond that, no.
No.
Thank the Lord.
I Yeah, that's good. Um, uh, I can't see, is it Andrea? No, Amber, sorry,
Yeah,
Amber.
Amber.
She's doing collard greens
Oh
and
yeah.
cornbread instead of
Are
green
you
beans
from the
and rice.
South,
Oh
Amber?
my gosh. My aunt taught me how to make collard greens
Oh
25,
yeah.
30 years ago. And we pour a little peppercini juice as they're cooking down with some chicken broth and a ham hock and
Oh yeah.
oh my God, and an onion. My mouth's watering right now. I want some collard greens. They're
Oh my
so
gosh.
good. Oh, you know what? I'm putting that on my list. I am gonna make those for
Yeah, because wouldn't
for
that be kind of a
Thanksgiving.
Jamaican thing to do or
More of a Southern thing.
okay.
Um, yeah, more of a Southern thing, not so much a Jamaican thing, but
Yeah.
that I'm craving those now because they're so good. Oh, thanks for having that, Amber. Thanks for suggesting that. Yum.
Just passed up someone here. They said,
Oh,
"Have you ever
sorry.
had, I think, buttermilk chess pie?" And I've heard of that, but no, I've never had it.
Here.
I think it's somewhere here. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Amber.
Oh,
Yes.
Amber. Oh, she said
Yeah.
it again. Amber, you're full of
Yeah.
info.
Southern, right? So
I think so.
chess is like chestnut, right?
Buttermilk
Chestnuts
chess pie. It looked like a more of a custardy,
instead of pecans or walnuts.
I don't know
Okay,
really.
Amber, you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
have
have
to
to
let
look that
us
up.
know.
I'm gonna have to look
Yeah.
that up.
Mm, mm-mm.
Oh, look at that. Anita said, "I voted for the cover of the cookbook, and that's the one you picked." All right. Well,
Yay.
like
Thank
Lisa
you.
mentioned, you guys help us make that happen because I'm
Yes.
hoping you all get it. I hope you share it. I hope you tell other people because it's really a collection of some of these recipes that I've done all in a book form because I tell you, I like a book. I love the technology of what we have right now, but I'm old school. And you guys all, we're wanting a book. So thank you for that.
Yes, thank you so much. Well, I just can't believe how much we're talking about recipes and
I know.
different things. Ooh, what's a hummingbird cake? Here's something.
Oh, I've heard that one too. Yes.
I'm making a hummingbird cake. Janice, let us know what's in that. That sounds intriguing as well.
I think it's a layered cake, but I cannot remember what's in it.
Oh,
And that is a level of baking that I haven't done a lot of. And oh, I agree, Melissa. Reconnect
yep.
uh with love your family every day, not just on holidays. because it can change in a minute. You're all by yourself. This year for holidays, as I am new to being a widow, I'm going to cook for the less fortunate and harden out. You know what? That is, in fact, that's a question that
Yes,
someone else had
a
on
fan.
Facebook. Yeah. Well, a Facebook, you know.
Yep, yep, Facebook.
Um, how do you find happiness or whatever you want happiness to mean when the children are all grown up and you don't have all of the mom things to do? Empty nester is a real thing. And I tell you, I can so
Yes.
relate. Probably Patricia wrote this, but it was James and Patricia Welch. But I can so relate this to Patricia because that was really huge. I mean, I wish I could be with my grandkids all the time. I would go to Jeremy and Audrey's house one day. I'd go to Zachary and Tori's house another day. I'd visit each one of them each day of the week. But of course, that's not unrealistic because, as we know, when you're having a young family, they got things to do. But it's like when they have a game or when they have a recital or a birthday party. In fact, I'm going to Lila's birthday party on Sunday, and she's gonna be the big
Oh,
4 years old. Um,
oh, are you
but
kidding me already?
but to what
Oh,
this woman said, and I think you said it earlier, and I think we've said it before, Lisa, is when you don't know what to do and you just, you've because being a mom, at least for me and doing the show and everything, it really took away from those opportunities and ability to it's not to say I didn't have friends, but to make that deeper connection with those friends, meaning a girl's weekend out or, going shopping with friends or, having me and Chris go out with people and,
right.
connect that way or something like that. So being an empty nester to me is a really big thing, and I think it takes everything you have to get outside of yourself, but the first way to begin to figure it
Mhm.
out is to go do something for someone else. So just like what she said,
Right. Just
go
what
do
Jerry's
something
saying.
for someone else.
Yes.
Thanksgiving, there's a
Yes.
lot of places that could use your help.
Yep.
Volunteer, but make sure you don't overcommit yourself because then I think you lose yourself once
Right.
again in a way.
Right. Yeah. And so Jerry, same thing. It's we're
Oh, yeah.
really sorry that you did lose your
Yeah.
partner and it's going to be
A long
sad
time.
and allow yourself to be sad, but there are so many people out there that you could present joy to by
Mhm.
again making a meal, making some cookies, taking them next door. Find somebody
Yeah.
that may need to have you bring joy to them, and that sharing that will help you with your sadness to
I
maybe
think one of the
take your
biggest
mind off of it.
I think one of the biggest thing that has really kept my dad going because he's 95 and my brother flew out because my dad was driving up north all by himself. That's like a 5-hour drive up in the UP, to shut down the cabin, for winterize it. And my brother thought, "Well, I'll go out there and, help him do that," which is huge. And so, but he has his church. He has families from his church. He's got some people that he's met through his reenactments over the years, and he's got a neighborhood that he's been in for a long time. And a lot of them are older, but now their grandkids or their kids are taking over their place because they lived on the lake. But the whole point being is that he still has stayed connected with that community and has after my mom passed away. And it took him a year to do that because he didn't feel like doing anything. And then he had a couple of, health things go on. But anyway, he was surrounded by a community, but he also volunteers at the church. He also does, you know, um, things as well.
Right.
So I think it's tough when you lose someone that you've been married to 26 years, 45 years, whatever amount of years it
A
is.
daughter, Tammy
Yeah.
Roberts is saying,
Yeah.
yep, yeah. Or Liz Cortez, I'm sorry, just lost her daughter and she feels lost. We're
Yeah.
very sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But again, try to put yourself somewhere else, take your mind off and bring joy to somebody else.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I miss not being home with my family during the holidays over the years. But oh yeah, hang on. Going back to IEPs, they are updated yearly. Students are evaluated and can be given extended services for other year or exit the program if goals written. Okay, gotcha. Thanks for that input on the IEP things. I
Yeah.
don't know if y'all can read some of these chats with I think you can, but Sylvia, going back to the IEP thing, and I'm sure different states have different things as well, but no, it's I don't know, it just feels so much more layers of
Sorry.
going to school now.
Wrong. Yeah.
Oh, replying to Lynn?
This was to Renee. I
Oh,
agree,
yeah, yeah,
ladies. Lost my mom 5 years ago. I miss her every day. I lost my mom May 29th of this year. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
this was a tough year for me because it was my birthday Monday,
Yeah,
and my dad actually passed away on my
I know.
birthday. And
Yeah, that's crazy.
I it but he brought me into this world, and
Yeah,
so I feel honored that he was able to, pass through or go to transition, whatever anyone's calling it, but that it was on my birthday. And the best gift my son gave me was to go put flowers on his grave for me
uh-huh.
because I
Yeah,
wasn't there to do that. And I
yeah,
told him that was, and I meant it. It was one of the best birthday presents I could have ever
yeah,
had,
yeah.
was for my son to go and acknowledge my dad. And it wasn't opening a gift. It wasn't,
Mhm.
any of these other things. It was just doing a special gesture for somebody. So again, if people want to go help somebody else or do a special gesture, I just think now that means so much more,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Well, especially when you know what you're doing has such purpose and meaning and a special thing for someone else. It's that even makes it greater, you
Yes,
know,
yes,
and stuff
yes.
because you really thought about that other person.
I
And
know. And it was just, beautiful. It just warmed my heart. So a present doesn't have to be, or a gift, or, again, kind of getting back to this holiday thing, it doesn't have to be a physical gift that you bring somebody or that you do. It's something you can do for somebody else, right?
yeah, no, I agree. Here,
Yeah.
Lynn just was saying that her father just passed away last year, and it was on her birthday, and he was
Oh,
just two
yes.
weeks shy of turning 25.
90,
So
95,
oh, yeah,
95,
25. Oh my gosh. He was
95.
just shy of turning 95.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, your dad, he's just
Yeah.
really, I mean, he just is a machine. He just keeps going. And
Well, my brother just sent me a video of them up north and stuff, and I thought, "Oh my gosh, I just wish I could be there too." But it's one of those things you just have to appreciate the time you do have with someone, and like someone
yes.
else said, you can still stay connected whether through well, with him, it's through a phone call because he doesn't know FaceTime, I don't think, or any of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, um, but just, trying to stay connected as best you can. The time difference kills me because, of course, when I think about calling him, it's like, "Oh, no, he's long he's long ago been in bed or something."
Right, right. I don't know.
Yeah.
He might be up watching the late show. You don't know.
Oh, yeah. No, 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 no. He's yeah. He sleeps in later, and I mean, being 95, you
Oh,
get worn out.
sorry.
But it was
That
just
was
great to
wrong.
watch him walk, along the cabin and look over the lake, and yeah, it was good.
That's awesome. I like this. It doesn't take money to bring happiness to
Mhm.
someone. Very true. And we were talking about that too for holiday gifts this year.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe instead of buying two or three toys for each of your grandchildren, hint, hint, that's what Amy in the past, we get into that. Oh, let's buy this. Oh, let's buy that. But
Yeah.
maybe an experience. And maybe it's just cooking one afternoon in grandma's
Yeah.
kitchen, teaching
Yeah.
all the kids how to make your special molasses cookies, or
Yeah. Yeah.
something where they have that experience with you versus always, buying a gift, or I don't know. I just think the experience thing is fun.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I just wanted to respond to Kim Chambliss here. She's going through chemotherapy right now, but she's
Oh,
trying her best to keep the family traditions. So we make turkey sandwiches and fruit, and we hand it out to the people who are in need, which I think is great.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
and if that is a family tradition, but even that, help your kids to carry on that tradition, even though if you don't feel up to it because of all that you're going through, have them take a few photos of them doing it and sharing the story with you back home too. Um, if you're unable to do it, but help them to realize that this tradition doesn't have to end just because, one of us may not be able to do it or whatever it may be too, because it's a
Right.
tradition. We always hope that some traditions will carry on long after, we're gone or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at
So,
this one from Gail too. I brought my neighbor 9 quarts of potatoes, maybe 9 quarts. She was beyond thrilled because she didn't want to buy 5 pounds. Little things mean everything, right?
yeah,
Little
yeah,
things.
yeah,
I love
yep,
it.
yep. No, I agree. Here's one that to get off the holiday thing, I don't know why. But one question that I had too was sometimes when you're balancing life, you always feel like you have to be on because you're balancing being a mom. Okay, you got to be on for a mom. You're balancing time with your friends. Okay, you got to be on with your friends. You're balancing your faith. So you go to church, you got to be on for that. Or work, you got to be on for that. So we all try to balance that. But I think it's also okay to not be able to do it all and let people see that you do go through the ups and downs. And
Yes.
sometimes things don't work out. Sometimes, work didn't go out great and you don't feel like you balance it all. But letting those close around you say, but it's okay because, tomorrow's a new day. So balancing is a good thing because I think it also reminds us to take a break and also do something for ourselves so that we can regroup
Yes.
as individuals
Absolutely.
so that we can go back out there and do the things that we need to do, but hopefully also that you want to do.
I definitely,
So,
definitely agree with that. Well, it is 5 o'clock
oh, yes.
somewhere, 6
5 o'clock
o'clock
somewhere.
somewhere. It's 6 o'clock my time. Dan's time, it's probably 6, 8 or
Oh, yeah.
9. I
Yeah.
don't know. So we are going to give you guys the code words for our fudge giveaway. So when I say the words, go ahead and type it in the message, and we will continue to talk and visit here for a little bit longer. And
Yeah.
then we'll pick 2 lucky winners. So if everyone's ready, drum roll, Amy, drum roll.
I
The
don't know.
code words are, maybe you could say the code words. You could make it. Gobble,
Oh,
gobble, gobble,
the
gobble.
code word is gobble, gobble, gobble. Isn't it
Yay.
right? Gobble, gobble.
Yes. Gobble, gobble. So that's
Don't
our
you just
code
want to
word.
gobble this fudge up? Oof.
Gobble, gobble. Type gobble, gobble
And
into the chat, and we'll keep talking. And then in about 50 minutes, we'll be picking our winners. All right.
and
Look
just
at it
because
go.
we're giving some away does not mean you can't order it. So go to Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, and if you're interested, buy some of this fudge. They're great stocking stuffers, or sending it to your boss or your hairdresser or the person who does your hair, or they just really make really great gifts as well. Um, as well as sharing it with your family. So yeah.
Yeah. So good. Oh my gosh. Look at all
What?
the people. Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble, gobble. But,
Oink, oink. Sam. Wait a second. Oink, oink. Who's
well,
that?
fudge may not be someone's favorite, that's for sure, and that's okay,
Exactly. I
and
love
that's
it. I love
okay.
it. That's okay.
Yeah, gobble,
Awesome.
gobble.
Awesome.
But,
Well,
but any okay, what?
I was just
Oh,
gonna say,
I think our next live is December 7th. I think we're all
yes.
able to be on,
Yep.
and get ready to are we doing our ugly sweaters that day or the 19th?
Well, that depends on what you want to do. I think
Okay.
ugly sweaters on the 7th would be perfect
I think so
because we
too,
were
because you know
thinking
what?
something else, but I think ugly sweaters perfect.
I think that will get us into, the Christmas spirit and getting ideas, because I think what we talked about last year, but how do you gather with all these friends and families? And this time of year is all about giving and taking time out for others, others in need, but also taking
Yeah.
time out for your family and stuff. I always say you don't have to cram every single thing in on Christmas Eve, Christmas
No.
Day, and stuff like that. To me, once Thanksgiving is December 1st arrives, once
Yeah.
Thanksgiving or December 1st arrives, um, start planning those get-togethers all throughout the month. I think Christmas is all throughout the month.
It is. And you and I are going to have to go do our thing. We might do a quick live,
I think
like
it's
when we
Facebook.
take, yeah, I think Facebook too, Naveed. Anyway, but I love that, we've got to plan our annual Christmas get together.
Shopping.
You and we go shopping. That's how we got this last year. You have a
Yeah.
sweater just like this. So we
And
need
this
to
is what
do
Lisa and I do. We for our like friends get together and everything. Um we'll go shopping together. We'll just buy ourselves gifts or something
lunch.
like that. But we'll go out
Yeah.
to kind of a nice dinner and have some wine and, just stuff like that. And just have a
Yeah,
good
enjoy the
girls' day,
day.
you know?
Yeah, so we'll try to do a
So,
little quick live while we're shopping. I think that would be fun just to
oh, I
say,
think
"Here
so.
we go."
Oh, oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, we're
Yep,
talking
yep.
about balancing life. We're talking about, not starting over, but kind of like a new journey, a new adventure, a new chapter kind of later in life. And and I think sometimes that's hard, but it's doable. I definitely felt like a deer in the headlights doing the school thing,
But
but
you
there was
did
also
it.
an inner confidence in that I can do this. And it might be because no matter what happened, I would be okay. Meaning if I
Yes.
wasn't successful or even if I was, it's all gonna be good. I'm gonna be okay because I really like being there with the kids and just trying to do my little itty bitty part
Art.
on really trying to help these kids believe in themselves and to stick with it. And it's okay if you don't get it right now, but keep trying because eventually that will happen. So,
Yep.
anyway, hopefully,
Yep.
I'll be able to continue to succeed, people.
I think you'll do amazing. I knew you would be amazing, but I loved that picture of you for first day, and that was awesome. Chris took that, and you working with kids. But you know what, Amy?
Yeah,
From the time I met you, you
yeah,
said, "Yeah, I'm on this crazy reality show," because I didn't even know
yeah,
about the show or you,
yeah, yeah.
and you said, "But really, my dream is to be a teacher at
Oh,
some
yeah.
point."
Yep,
And I was like, "Wow." And
yep.
now your dream's coming true. Think about that.
It's definitely coming true in a different way. I will say it is a challenge, and will take time in not working with kids that need help, but if you're able to stick with some of those kids that need help, then you're able to build up a trust, a confidence in themselves with working with you and I with them. Because then you can read these different signs and these different ways that they do things and to really help them get further um than maybe, what they believe that they could do. So,
Right, right. I hear
you
you.
know, but yeah.
It takes a
But listen,
special
real
person.
quick, you are working remotely. A lot of people loved working remotely. A lot of people don't like working remotely. And I would say a lot of it depends on what is going on in your home environment. Meaning, you were still working. Oh no, you did work at a company. How long have you been working remotely?
I've been working remotely for at least 8 years, 8 years
Yeah.
now.
So
Hmm.
a lot of that was kids were out. Like, we don't have little kids running around and
No, my
going to
son was in
school.
high school. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
in high school by then, so that was good. But yeah, I worked at an insurance agency. I drove an hour each way
But you were still
every
a working
day.
mom.
and
even when
working
you had to
mom
go
and all
somewhere. Yeah.
that. Yeah, and then I had started my own agency,
Yeah.
and that's when I brought in other people, and I said, "Hey, working from home is the best thing because I could
Yeah.
do everything. I could
Yeah.
stop and go to a field trip. I could do this. I
Yeah.
could go pick my son up from school. I could take him in the morning and just set my schedule. Some
Well, you
people
had
want to
more
know,
control over the daily life than someone, and I think that's one of the
yes,
reasons why so many people love working remotely. But I think what we found during, especially during the pandemic, working remotely, that suddenly people in apartments and condos, their space got very, very small.
small. Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
it depends on the job. It
Yeah,
depends
it
on
does.
I'm an insurance broker. I work my
Health.
agency, life and health insurance. That's what I do. And all the people that work for me, my employees now and contractors that work for me, they all work from home. And just felt that was the way to go. I didn't want an overhead of this big office and then a dread of people having to drive there every day. And everybody has a life, and I feel like that life work balance is important when you do have kids. Like Rochelle that works for
Yeah,
me, she has a 2-year old now, so it's been a blessing for her. She didn't have to put her in daycare. She works a lot while she naps or she'll work evenings and set appointments with customers. And
yeah,
so there's all different ways you can navigate through
yeah,
that. So
yeah. And I think the other thing you have to be very careful of working remotely, because you have this flexibility in time. Maybe not necessarily you, Lisa, because we don't have that family dynamics that is added on to our schedule right now.
mhm,
Um, is not to like be working all the time. Like, as we talk
right.
about balancing act, because when you do work remotely, you're like, "Oh, yeah, I can go do this because I'll do this at 10 o'clock at night," or, this or that. So, really kinda keep your framework within reason and sustainable, really.
Kinda like you in reality TV. You don't know when you're on and when you're not on.
Oh, I know. That is for sure,
It
man.
it does incorporate, like
Yeah,
you've talked about in the past, it does incorporate your whole life now is kind of in one
yeah,
place,
yeah,
but you do find ways of balance. And again,
yeah,
taking my son to school or going and picking somebody up or having lunch with somebody, I can
yeah,
just go out and do
yeah.
that and come back. I mean, the flexibility is amazing.
Well, one
So
of the things I knew I haven't worked a like I mentioned, 9 to 5 job in like 33 years. I did work a little bit for about 5 years. That was like a 9 to 5 job. I got two jobs at the same time, so I barely got any sleep there, but I also knew this could not be sustainable. But, the whole point being, what is it? Oh, yeah, being a substitute teacher, though, I can kinda pick and choose when I can work and available, meaning I don't wanna be lackadaisical in this. You still have to have some discipline, but if, like, one of my kids called up and say, "Mom, we really need you, like, can you watch the kids,
yeah. Yes.
this day?" And I said, "Okay,
And
I
they
will
do
choose
that.
not." Yeah, I'll choose not to work that day so that I can be there for my kids, because that's important to me, and I love having time with my grandkids, and where
Yes.
I'll say, "Okay, I'll sign up for these 3 days to work at the school," and, stuff like that, so,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
I like
yeah,
that. Yeah. And again, that flexibility at this point in our lives is important, right?
yeah,
So important. I like
yeah,
Tammy Roberts just said something she brought up is the cost of daycare. It is
yeah,
so expensive for
yep,
people. That is so true. It
it
defeats the
is.
purpose of them working because it goes to daycare. But again, daycare people who watch your kids, you
I
want to
know,
pay them well
yeah.
because they're taking care of your child. I mean, it's kind of a
Well,
catch 22.
I would consider daycare as an extension of what you're doing sending your kids to school. We may not be directly paying the teachers, but you are paying them through property taxes or whatever your state has on
That's a
how
good
they
point.
do that. So to me, daycare, like Lisa was saying, you don't want to pay daycare people pittance. They're
Right.
taking care of your baby, your toddler, or whatever. However, to her point, when does all of the financial burden lessen
Right,
because your
right.
job may not equip you with the pay needed to on top pay for daycare, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah,
Where's
it's
the
a tough one.
balance
Yeah.
there?
It's
It
tough,
is tough.
and that's why, I always thought being a grandmother, I would be there for the kids to help them out if, they needed that, so,
Yep. I like
but yeah.
Emily saying, uh, preschool and daycare teachers are teachers.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
So that is
Especially
very
especially if
true.
you really pick the right daycare or the right individual to care for your kids and stuff. That's how they should go into looking at that job, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, we've got two
Woohoo!
lucky winners for fudge.
Gobble, gobble,
Naveed,
gobble.
who have you chosen, or not you, but randomly chosen? We have a
Well, we
third
don't
party
choose
who's,
people, other
we
people
don't
do.
choose. Yes, we have a
Yeah.
third party that randomly chooses for us.
So on YouTube, we have Nicole Brierly, Brierly, and then on Facebook,
Oh,
we have Dan Bertoni. Woohoo, you two.
Dan. Okay. All right. Both of you, congratulations.
So
Go
YouTube, we
ahead
have
and
Nicole. YouTube, we have Nicole Brierly.
Brierly.
And then on Facebook, we have Dan Bertoni. So what do they need to do, Lisa?
Okay. Congratulations. Go ahead and email me at arlittlekitchen@gmail.com, which is right here on the screen, and send me your address, and I will get fudge ordered for you, and you'll have a nice treat for the holidays. So thank you for participating. And anybody that didn't win, you can also purchase our fudge. I think we'll put the QR code back up here in a second.
Yeah, it's available
There
at
you
Amy
go.
Roloff's Little Kitchen.
And Amy, you have it there again, right? Let's just see
Oh
that
gosh,
peppermint
yes.
one.
Look at it.
I
It's the same plate. Can you believe that one?
oh, and I love that peppermint crushed candy cane on
Oh, so
top.
do I.
Yummy,
Well,
yummy,
throughout the
yummy.
whole thing, yeah. It's
Yes,
good. It's like a
yes.
white chocolate peppermint. Oh,
Oh
so
my
good.
gosh. Hide it from
So
Chris.
good.
Hide it.
Well, I tell you, we argued, you and I argued back and forth, but I don't think we've ever had chocolate peanut butter. We've had chocolate
Uh,
caramel. I
Maybe,
don't
but
know.
chocolate peanut butter is like a
Mm.
big thing. I think you got, oh, look at that. And I think there's actually a chocolate peanut butter day that we're going to be posting our chocolate peanut butter fudge. I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
coming up. But
You guys, this is really good.
we had a ton of requests for the chocolate peanut butter. So
Mhm.
Amy's like, I don't know if it's that my favorite. And I said, but it's everybody else's favorite, so you need to have it.
No, I love peanut butter. I love
Yes,
peanut butter.
me
So this is
too.
good.
Me too.
Okay, when you're back in town, girlfriend, we're gonna do the
Yep.
girls' Christmas
Next
thing.
week. All right. Let's pick a date and get that on the calendar. Sounds good. And then on the 7th, we'll see everybody on the 7th. And you know
Mhm.
what? We're going to wear ugly sweaters. You could wear ugly sweaters too. Maybe take some pictures and post them. How do we do that? We'll have to
I don't
figure
know.
that
Well,
out.
no, you know what we'll do? We'll when I do a post on my Instagram and Facebook and maybe YouTube, I don't know how YouTube works. Naveed, who is great at helping us, he'll help us do
Yes.
that. But if you want, post a picture of yourself in the comment section on my on my Facebook and Instagram, and love to see what your ugly sweater looks like.
I love it. I love
When did
it.
that become a thing? I think stores make a mint on that, this
A
ugly sweater
mint.
thing, but it's so cool.
I know. I think part of that started on Shark Tank too. I think
Was
that
it
was
Shark Tank? I thought it was from the movie uh oh my gosh, with Chevy Chase.
oh, Christmas
Lampoon,
Vacation.
yeah, Christmas Vacation or whatever like that.
Yes, yeah, might
Or
have started
Lampoon
there.
Christmas or something like that.
National Lampoon's Christmas
Yeah.
Vacation.
Yes.
There it was.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And stuff.
So, but I think
Okay,
Shark Tank, they
guys.
made a
This is what
company
you tell your
that
kids
makes
not to
those.
do is to eat sweets
What?
before dinner.
Ah, yum. Oh my gosh, I
Mm,
want it.
so
Okay,
good.
you guys. Well, we'll see you back on the 7th, and we might even have Deb on with us on the 7th, right?
We could
Okay. All
if
right.
she's up for it.
Well, if she's up for it. All right, we're gonna have some
Well,
fun
guys,
stuff.
hang on. I want you guys to have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. Don't get caught up with all the chaos and worry about all the preparations and stuff. Really, family just enjoy being together and whatever food is there. You're all gonna love it. It's just about getting together and really catching up. So have a happy, happy Thanksgiving and be safe.
Be safe and remember to be kind, think kind, and stay kind.
Can I
You
add my extra?
are, yes, I was
And
going
you
to
are
say,
okay. And sorry, I ruined that for you. And you are an MVP. Always remember that you matter, have value, and purpose. So happy Thanksgiving,
happy
everyone.
Thanksgiving. See you in
Bye.
December. Bye bye.
Thanks for joining us.